I deserve to invest in myself.
Mhm.
I work hard, I earn money.
Mhm.
So I signed up for the course and I could
Mhm.
finally figure out what it was I was doing wrong.
Yeah.
It didn't look right, but I couldn't figure out what.
Okay. I have a student here, Linda, and she's very excited to be here, and I'm very, very excited to have her on. We're going to talk about her calligraphy journey as a recently retired nurse, was
Yes.
doing calligraphy very much on her own, and finally was like, okay, I need some help like figuring this out. I know I can take it to the next level. Joined our courses, and then I was kind of looking back on your history, Linda, and I think you found me through a Facebook ad,
Yes.
which makes it, I don't know,
Yes.
extra special because I always have this little worry like, oh, it's ads, it's a paid ad. I don't know how people are going to receive it on the other end. But you came through and you were just like, oh my God, I'm so enthusiastic about this. And I love what you've built here. And then 4 months later, you decide to join some of our business courses and you've got amazing plans for your future. Can't wait to hear about all of it.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to start with just how did you get into calligraphy in the first place?
Well, I'm one of those people who just loved handwriting. When I was a nurse and we would have to do the assignment boards, they would always ask me to write it because I had neat
Oh,
handwriting. And I took pride in that. I just enjoyed it. Just out of the blue, one day, little reel came up of someone doing calligraphy, and I thought, oh, that's pretty. I bet I could do that.
yeah.
And then, down the rabbit hole I went. And the pen that got my attention was the Pilot, the chisel pen. It wasn't the
Oh,
it wasn't a brush. I didn't
yeah.
know, So I ordered one and I was so excited about it. And that was harder than I thought. And it wasn't looking like what I thought it was supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So I went back to YouTube and started watching more videos and started learning about brush pens and nibs. I can't turn my camera around, but if you saw all of the supplies that I have accumulated in such a short period of time,
Yeah.
now that I have all these tools, I'm starting to practice with it and I'm learning about the brush strokes and everything. I'm in deep now.
Yeah.
And I was really proud of my little, self-taught calligraphy.
So at
And
what point, it sounds like you were really self-motivated, looking up tutorials, buying
yeah,
tools. At what point were you like, hold on, maybe the self-learning is not quite cutting it, and I feel like maybe I'll invest in a course.
well, I was, every YouTube video where they would say, learn calligraphy, learn calligraphy.
Yeah.
And it was really just the basic strokes. And then they stopped there. And I was like, okay, I got the strokes, but they're not coming together right. And I don't know where to go from here.
Hmm.
I watch somebody draw and I try to mimic it, but I really didn't know why I was doing it that way or why I was
Hmm.
even trying it. And so that's when you came in. I said, I'm going to find a course.
Yeah.
And then your ad came up. And I don't know what it was. It was like, it's a workshop, it's
Hmm.
free. Free was a big deal for me. It was free,
Hmm.
but it really drew me in. I'm like, okay, this is more than what I've been doing on the basic stroke videos that I kept repeating over and over. And so I signed up. And I'm like, it's free. I can't lose anything.
Yeah.
And I think right out the gate, I was like, is she serious? She's giving all this information away? I'm like, how does she make money? I thought that was the best free anything I've ever done online. And
Mm.
I say that with all sincerity because I felt like what you gave me could have taken me a whole lot further just from that free workshop. But then I said, well, if this is free, what am I going to get if I pay for it? And so and I started watching your interviews with other former students, but she said, I deserve to invest in myself.
Mhm.
And I said, well, yeah, I can invest in myself. I work hard, I earn money.
Mhm.
So I signed up for the course and I could
Mhm.
finally figure out what it was I was doing wrong.
Yeah.
It didn't look right, but I couldn't figure out what.
And that's such an important piece, right? Is like not just getting the lessons that teach you here's how to do it, but the lessons that go like, oh, look at what you did. Let's
Right.
actually take that apart and give you
Yes.
some tips for the future. So, so important. But I want to go back a little bit. I know you said you kind of felt you deserved it. You decided, okay, I'm going to invest in myself. But you did mention that the price made you hesitate. So after
It
the
did.
free workshop, you're like, oh, this is $500.
Yeah,
Like,
it
so,
did. It did. And I that's when I went back to, but look at what she's doing. And to me, it was like she knows what she's worth. She knows her skill, she knows her product. And I had a friend tell me one time, people will pay you what you're worth.
mm,
And I felt that it was worth the price to learn the right way. I mean, if I had met you sooner, I wouldn't have all these useless tools around me. And so, and I
also
kind of
mentioned that
justified it.
so relatable. You're like, I
Yeah.
probably spent as much on useless tools before
Yes.
finding your course than I actually spent
Yes.
on your course. And I feel
Yes.
like that
So,
is,
I mean, I spent twice as much, which is
yeah.
okay, fine. But, sometimes you do that. I
Mhm.
have no regrets about what I spent. And that's the thing. I can't question your prices. I just think that your skill, your knowledge, you have a very unique way of presenting the the subject matter
Mhm.
and helping your students. I mean, you really care. I think you do.
I do.
Yeah.
It's hard to fake this level
It really,
for 10
yes, it
years, right?
totally is. It
Yeah.
totally is.
And I really appreciate what you're saying because you said you actually are a teacher yourself. You're like a
Yeah.
curriculum developer, so you kind of you know what it is
Oh,
that goes
yes.
into good teaching.
Yes.
And it's not just it is thought, it's thinking about what my students might need, putting that in. It's 10 years of like tweaking my courses and adding to
Yeah.
them. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate that
Yes,
recognition.
yes. I love a good teacher. Love a good teacher. And so yeah, I think you're really good at what you do.
Well, thank you so much. Let's talk a little bit about your calligraphy journey. So, since taking our courses, and
Yes.
you said that you saw like a real just improvement in your calligraphy, things kind of
Yes.
clicked, you were feeling more confident, and then you got a job?
Well, another calligraphy job. My
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah,
She,
that counts.
yes, yes, it does count. She works in a hospital research office,
Hmm.
and they're looking. I think there's like 70 people that work under her, and she has to get everyone a Christmas gift, and she wanted to do Christmas ornaments,
Oh,
personalized Christmas ornaments.
yeah.
So we just started that project last night,
Yeah.
and I'm really excited because I'm just starting your business course.
Hmm.
And so I'm going to invoice it and everything and just get the practice of, pricing out how much a job like that would cost. I'm not
Hmm.
going to charge her, but, just invoice it and get that practice
Yeah.
because I really struggle with asking people for money, you know, when I do something for them, because I enjoy it so much. It's almost like I just want to do this because I love it,
Yeah.
but on the same hand, if I want to make this a business, I have to take it seriously and treat it like one.
Hmm. Most people have a hard time with that.
Yeah,
Transitioning from like, oh, I do it because I love it and it's a hobby and just, it's a totally different type of pressure and a type of a different sort of relationship to start asking for money.
yeah,
But then you've, told me at the beginning of this interview, like, I so admire how much you asked for your knowledge because that showed me that it was worth it. And you got to think of it the
yeah,
other way around, reflected back on you, right?
yeah.
You'll get
You're
there.
right.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a thing, it's a skill to practice. And I'm glad
Well,
you're
you
kind
have
of
to hold my
starting
hand.
out. Yeah. Well, you have our business course. So
I know. I've got the business course, so yeah.
yeah. So tell us a little bit more about that. It sounds like you came into calligraphy just like I like handwriting. I see people doing it. Did you always want a business? Or is this a recent
No,
development?
no, that's a different element. I think owning the business and being successful, whatever that looks like,
Hmm.
would it just validates my work, I think,
Hmm.
and I
Yeah.
need that validation.
It gives you some purpose to work towards too, also.
Yes, yes,
I know just from like, you're so active in our student group and you've started this Instagram account now. And I've just, I've seen a lot of my students, you included, after the structure of the courses, be like, okay, well, what do I do? How do I keep going with this? And the thing that I love about encouraging people to start a business is that it really is not about the money for most people at the end of the day. It's about, oh, like having something to work towards, proving you can do something hard that you never thought you could do
Yes.
before, like learning and growing in this skill of entrepreneurship, maybe starting to get opportunities that you might not have
Yeah.
thought about before. It's that
Right.
journey that is the rewarding part.
Yeah. And it just gives you validation
Mhm.
that I can do this.
Yeah. I think it's super cool the way you're approaching your business. I understand you've gotten paid for your first initial job. You're doing these ornaments for your daughter who you're not going to charge, but it's a great learning opportunity for your business. You're kind of looking forward to working on stuff in your business, but it's in your retirement, so you're approaching it in a really kind of light way where you don't need to like hit a certain goal, but you're doing it for the
Yes,
growth and the fun and the enjoyment of it. So, given all of that, you've now invested in our 201 course, you've purchased our business course, how to teach workshops. Has it all been worth the investment?
absolutely. Absolutely. Can I show you something?
Yeah.
This is what turned the switch.
Oh, yes. They're the worksheets from
Yeah,
my
the worksheets,
my
because
201, how to create an
because the
alphabet.
way
Yep.
you broke it down and the way because my calligraphy at one point was a little bit of basic. Maybe I'd have one letter was basic, the other letter was wispy, the other letter, and this is one word. Okay,
Yeah.
it was just all over the place. I like having those different styles, but I didn't know how to create my own alphabet. And that was just like light bulb, light bulb, light bulb. It gave structure and order to my calligraphy that I felt was getting a little chaotic
Hmm.
because I would just watch a video and see someone write in a certain style, and I'm like, okay, I want to write like that. And I'd start and maybe master half the alphabet, but not all of
Yeah.
them before I moved on to something else. And then those two styles start merging together. You're like, okay, why does this look crazy?
Yeah. So you got a lot out of that section. You mentioned that it kind of gave you the confidence in your calligraphy to start showing your work and start your Instagram.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
That's a big deal.
Yeah,
A lot of people feel really scared to do that and even just show their calligraphy in public.
right.
And you got
Yes,
like 300 followers already, you go. So what would you say to someone who is kind of in your shoes, like they love calligraphy, but they feel like they need a little bit of some extra guidance. Maybe they've DIY'd their way, but they're ready to invest. But the prices of our courses are a little bit, they're high. They're an investment. They're not like a cheapie. So
right.
what would you say to
Yes.
someone in that position?
I would say, I have friends who spent twice that amount on a purse.
Hmm.
No judgment, okay? But they felt that that purse was worth, you know, a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
It meant that much to them. And if you really want to take your calligraphy to the next level and you want to get really good instruction and knowledge and just information and a sense of community,
Mhm.
you know, this course is worth it. I think that they should really consider other things that they have felt was worth a lot of money
And why?
and why.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you need to find out if calligraphy meets that. And if it does,
Hmm.
then your courses are definitely worth it.
Yeah, yeah, that's such a good point. There are certain things that we're encouraged to spend money on in our society that we kind of
Yeah,
like don't question. And then there are other things that are a little bit poo-pooed, right, or not as encouraged. One of them, unfortunately, is women just like investing in themselves and their own just creativity and
right.
interests and curiosities. Like I get so much feedback that's like, well, I kind of just feel guilty spending that money on myself. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
You're like learning something, a skill that no one can ever take away from you. You just have
right.
it for the rest of your life. And
Yeah, it's an
yeah.
investment in yourself.
Hmm.
I mean, even if you never open a business or anything, sometimes I can just come in here and just pull out my pen and paper and just start writing. And it
Yeah.
is the most peaceful thing ever.
Hmm.
And, that's my me time, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And you got lifetime access, so you can just do that forevermore.
that is that is another thing, the lifetime access. The course is there for you when you go at your own pace. You can, and I plan to go back and revisit some of the modules, look at the Q&As that are just invaluable. I try to get on them as much as possible.
Yeah.
I'll have more time now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just your whole program from start to finish. It's like you paid attention to so many details. And for me, that is so important. The details is what matter.
Yeah.
It's not just, I teach this course, come join me.
Right.
You really invested your time and energy into this to make sure that we get as much out of this course as possible. It's almost like you wanted to open your brain to us and you did it as much as you could. You know your worth, and I'm willing to pay for it.
Well, I appreciate that about you, Linda. And I'm very excited for your calligraphy journey, wherever that takes you, whatever you end up doing with your business. Um, please let me know. Keep us updated. I will continue to cheer you on. Share your Instagram with us so we can follow your journey, everyone who's watching.
I'm at Pink Leaf Calligraphy, and it's calligraphy with IE at the end.
We'll put a link here. We'll put it on the
Okay.
screen so that you'll know where to go. Thank you so much, Linda, for just sharing your journey, your love of calligraphy, for speaking so highly of me and our courses. I truly appreciate it coming from you.
Yes, I've enjoyed every bit of it, and I'll just be just kind of like your little barfly, just hanging around your workshops and everything. It's always showing
Come,
up.
come
Okay.
to everything. Come to everything. I love having you there. Hey, this is just
So
proof that maybe look at some, not all your Facebook ads are bad. They
they're
might be a
not.
little portal into someone
They're
you
not.
have
They're
not
not. I
discovered
mean, it
yet.
was it was. I mean, it was really kismet,
Yeah,
and I'm grateful for that.
very cool. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Linda.